and then I'll tell you how many suggestions we have. I got to fix my hair. I haven't had a haircut, and I'm not. I should be thankful. I've got hair right now. And then you just pick a number, and I'll tell you what suggestion corresponds to that.
Cool.
Have you been doing a lot of online teaching and performing, or?
A little teaching, a lot of performing. Yeah.
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 Well, good. Yeah. I'm digging it because it gives me a chance to play with people from all over I might not play with.
Yeah.
And then I'm really excited you wanted to do this because I always find you fun to play with.
Yeah.
But let's see. So we have, ooh, check this out. We've got 43 suggestion possibilities. So pick a number 1 to 43.
18.
Ooh, all right, 18. Most people have been choosing around the 17 and 18 mark for these, which is interesting.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking of you and how hard it would be to count very high.
The best part, Jill, the best part of these, everyone has said, is watching me count.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have said a higher number.
Oh, this comes from Aree in Oslo. And the suggestion is, I think you better skip town.
I think you better skip town.
Yeah. Hi.
So I've been looking over your accounts like you asked me to.
Thank you.
Listen, Alan.
Yeah.
I think you better skip town.
Oh, it's that bad?
It's okay. I've never said this to another client. I'm sorry. I've never said this to another client, but not because you've done anything illegal.
Okay.
I think you're just really bad at running a novelty sock store.
Oh,
There's
Mary.
nothing illegal here.
Mary, thank you. Not many people have the courage to say that.
I know it's your dream.
I mean, I sunk all my money away, and I'd be like, let me be honest with you. If I could be honest with you right now.
Please.
I thought 1 hour on Sundays would be enough time that people would get their fill of the novelty socks. But people aren't coming in, and I think it's their fault, not my fault. I think 7 to 8 a.m. on Sunday is the prime time to buy a novelty. Let me ask you something. You have, it's Saturday night. You just got home from a party. It's a professional party. It's not like a personal. It's like a business party, right?
Yeah.
You put your head on the pillow. A couple hours later, bam, you're thinking, you know what would have made that party better? If I had some novelty socks on my foot. You look at the clock. It's 6:30 in the morning. Right then, you want to get up and you want to go get novelty socks. There's one place in town open for that. It's my shop. That's where you're going to go.
Alan, no one's having that experience that you're describing.
I know one person that had that experience. Guess who?
Was it you, Alan? It was, yeah, it's you.
Every Saturday, it's like clockwork. I put my head down on my pillow, and then I wake up. It's almost like I'm drenched in sweat, and I go, I got to get me some novelty socks, because you know what I've always said, they're conversation starters.
Alan, I want to talk to you about something else too. Your concept of novelty is, it's not that novel. Like, I thought your socks would have like fun avocados or cats or like funny sayings, but your socks are solid colors, Alan.
Look how novel that is. It's all gray. Who has, I mean, come on, isn't that hilarious? Gray is spelled two ways. It's E or A. Gray. It's a hilarious concept.
I think, if you want, you can stay with my mother out in the country, take some time for yourself while we clear up this store.
Wow. You really think I should?
Take some time.
And even here in the store, you're not inspired to buy a pair of socks? Look around there. I have a whole, on the east wall is all gray socks. And I'm like, not even, you don't want different shades. You want the one shade of gray. So
it's over 90 degrees outside, Alan. No, nobody's wearing, look around, nobody's wearing socks.
But it's, wool breathes. That's authentic New Zealand wool. I went to New Zealand, I did several times.
I see that expense.
Yeah, and I had a hard time deciding, so I wanted to come back. I wanted it to marinate in my mind, and so I took several trips to New Zealand because that's the highest quality wool in the world. We all know that. And then I decided, again, you're a fool if you don't wear socks right now. Why don't people see that?
Yeah, I took you on as a client because you're a dreamer and you're my cousin's husband.
Yes.
But your dream is not a great dream, Alan. Not all dreams are great.
What do you mean? What are you trying to tell me?
Nobody wants 7 a.m. Sunday socks. And people want funny novelty socks, not plain novelties. They want novelty in their novelty socks, Alan. I'm so sorry.
Let me paint you a picture. You leave the store right now. It's 90 degrees.
Yeah.
You're wearing a pair of Alan's novelty socks. People will look at you and go, socks?
Why is that woman wearing socks?
In 90 degrees? You know what? What a novel idea. That is a novel idea.
Why is that woman wearing socks is what they'll say.
And they go, she looks like a confident gal. What a novel idea. And so that to me is like, that's the novelty sock. Anybody can wear a sock that has an avocado in it and there's words, life's the pits. Like that to me is not novel.
It's a funny sock.
I know.
I don't even have a sock that has an avocado. It says life's the pits.
I think that would be a very common sock and going against novelty. Sure, I could get a pair of socks with pictures of bread on it and said, I'm just loafing today, right? Like that
would be so great. I'm just loafing today. I'm just loafing today and it's a loaf of bread. Oh gosh, Alan.
But that's not my dream.
Yeah.
Oh. So I guess I've got a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I can give up my dream, or I can continue to just hemorrhage money.
Life's the pits, huh?
Life's the pits, and if I give this up, I guess I'd feel like I'm not going to do anything, and I'd be just loafing around.
Yeah.
It must have been hard for you to come in here and tell me this.
Yeah, I should have told you months ago. It feels like kicking a puppy, you're such a positive person and you're filled with dreams. You have more dreams than any of my other clients. It's just, I like you, Alan, but, yeah. You are deeply in debt, as you know. I mean, as you should know. I don't know if you read what I email you.
It mostly gets filtered into a folder, but I do know now.
Yeah.
I thought you were just really excited, and then I would read the first line and it would be like, I need you to respond. And I thought, oh, okay, it's not, I thought you might want an order, but
I,
it's in my things to do.
I have received every order you sent to my office unsolicited. I have them in the car. I'll bring them. I'll bring them in. I don't really need, like, that's the other thing. You can't just send out complimentary socks.
I mean, I figure, you know, that's one way to hook them. And now that I hear that information, it just makes me want to say, darn it. It's a sock thing. It's a sock.
Yeah, probably with a picture of a ball of yarn.
Right, darn it.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a ball of yarn. Alan, do you have a second best destiny? Do you know the concept of a second best destiny? Like, yes, a sock store, a novelty sock store that's open 1 hour a week was your dream.
Yeah.
But do you have a second dream that's perhaps more sensible, but also would be fulfilling? A second best dream?
Well, I was told never to have a plan B, but I actually do have a plan B.
Thank you.
And it's actually called Plan B. It's bees that I bring into people's homes, and I let them fly around so they can experience nature firsthand.
And it's spelled Plan B-E-E.
Ooh, that's a better idea. Scene.
Oh no, poor Alan.
Poor Alan.
I feel so sorry for him.
Oh, I think he's yeah, definitely one of the people that just isn't gonna make it.
No, but he's happy.
I love that it was like a novelty sock store. that wasn't humorously novel, and there was nothing humorous about it. It was just gray socks.
No, just gray.
Oh, it's so fun.
Some good sock ideas, Jay.
Oh, I think I'd seen an avocado. I do like novelty socks. I went, you know, there a couple of years ago where you could just, for some reason, you could just wear any color sock with any outfit. It didn't matter.
There's a thing.
Oh
yeah.
My God. And I loved that. I was like, I'm going to be a sock. That's going to be my thing. I'm going to be the sock guy. So I got a drawer full of these socks that I'm like, when am I going to, I don't have any clothes that are orange, purple, red, black. I just don't have anything to, some socks I have, they don't even match anything I have. But
you don't have a job where you wear the same suit every day.
Right.
So like the socks are the fun part. Like I worked at an office where everybody wore a blue suit or a black suit. And so, yeah socks were the way you said, I'm a human.
Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. I'm not like these others.
Oh, you're so like, what's great is you're just so fun to play with, and you're on board, and like, you don't play from a place of fear. It seems like you play from a place of joy.
Yeah, that's my central philosophy is to play from a place of joy.
I tell people, I quote you all the time with, I go, yeah, Jill talks about that Sheryl Crow song, If It Makes You Happy. Like, you'll just sing that in class when people ask questions. And I'm like, that's such a great piece of advice, where it's like, if it makes you happy. And then there's a like a meme going around about how, and it's a great point of like, you've never done an exercise or warm up wrong. You're just doing it a different way.
Yeah, that's happened. And I know it's probably happened to you, where students interpret what you said and it turns out better than what you thought. Like there's a couple of games that have really been repaired that way because I explained it a little bit vaguely and the students did something so much better.
100%. There's more of them. than there is of us. Like, and they can take that thing and turn it into something so much better than like, no, achieve it the way I wanted you to achieve it. It's so much better.
And I think my favorite example is one time I was doing a corporate workshop for Eastern European pizza franchise owners.
Oh, yes.
And I taught them that game where you clap at the same time, but they misunderstood me and they clapped like dun 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 dun. Dun. It was so cool.
That's even better. Well, I mean,
like this Russian guy with his arm around his beautiful young wife who would only do it with one hand. It was so much better.
I mean, mistakes are gifts, right? Mistakes are gifts. And that when something happens that you're not expecting, that spark of joy that we feel, where it's like, oh yeah, do it that way.
Have you had anything happen in online stuff that was real? Like when you said mistakes are gifts, I was remembering I was doing a show here in this room the other day and I had the window open because it was hot and a bunch of ambulances and fire trucks came by.
Oh yes.
And there were a bunch of sirens and I didn't even know like what it was real. I was refereeing a comedy sports show and it was like, I'm so sorry. There's something burning down in my neighborhood.
But let's continue. All right, 5 things. I did a scene just before where my buddy Adrian's son, you could hear him in the background. And so it was like, our suggestion was the last expedition on Earth. And we were in this crevasse, we weren't going to make it out. And it was like, do you hear the wind? The wind is howling. And that was his son. So I'm like, I think we're just trained to start looking at these and incorporating them in. To me, that's the joy, is like, somebody's cat jumps through the frame. How can I explain what that is? How can I justify it? Because with technology comes a lot more, there's so many more issues. Like I was on a panel once and my computer just turned off.
Yeah.
Mid answer. I was answering a question and they're just like shut down. So I thought, oh, that's probably good. I was probably talking too long. So maybe it was just a way nature wanted to edit it. But yeah, there are so many of those examples. And then it's the mindset you have, right? To where, are you going to let this bother you? Or are you going to go, oh, this is part of it. Now I'm skilled enough to be able to come up with any justification for why that happened and people believe it.
I've been trying to think of it as a feature. It's just a feature.
Right. It is. It's that mindset.
My sound went out as a feature of the scene.
I want to do a game called Frozen Not Frozen. And in the middle of it, it's just like, is somebody actually freezing or are they pretending to freeze in the middle?
I keep doing that as a dive in comedy sports, where if I don't have a rhyming word, I just, oh, sorry, my camera froze.
Oh my God, that's the best.
I think I'm pretty funny. I don't know if everyone else does. I think everyone else panics for a second, but I think I'm hilarious.
Oh, they do. They panic and it's like, no, there's 6, 7 of us here. We'll figure this out.
It'll be fine.
You're doing, so you're doing comedy sports shows online.
Yeah.
Are you teaching online as well? Are you doing any like workshops or?
I am catch as catch can. I'm doing a Q and play next week with Queen City Improv. I just invented it where it's part Q&A, but then you stop and you do a game in the middle because Q&As can be boring.
Oh my God, can I steal that?
Q and play. I think you should. I think it should be a thing.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
I don't know how it'll work. I assume you just answer some questions and maybe one of the answers says, hey, this reminds me of an exercise. Or
yeah, I think that's great. And then I think you can like, at the end of like a scene, then like if people wanted to ask questions about like what your thoughts were or how,
Yeah, like inside the actor's studio.
Yeah. That'd be fun, but it could also be like, how do you initiate scenes? And then you go, all right, let's try one.
Here's an exercise for how to initiate scenes. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now you're an improv published author.
I am. Yeah, if you self-publish, you can be published.
Well, I mean, tell the folks about it, because like I've recommended your book to a lot of people, and it's such a fun read, and it to me it's like it encapsulates you so much. And years ago when we first met, I tried to get you to move back to Chicago. So I was
Yeah.
like, come back. I'm like, oh, we could do a lot of damage there and have fun. And you're like, no, I'm cool where I am now.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
But yeah, what about your book?
I first wrote it in 2002 overnight. I typed it on a real typewriter, took it to the copy shop and made copies and cut it up. It was just one piece of paper folded up and stapled and cut. Now it's a little bit bigger. Do I have? Oh, I do have one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a small book. It's
So
yeah,
good.
it's not very big. It started as just advice on how to build characters, and then I started collecting all the essays in it are really just things I say in class more than once. So I was like, oh, I should write that down because I've said it in class
Yeah.
more than one time. It's worth writing down for somebody else to read. There's copies of it in Italian, Romanian,
Wow.
and I'm forgetting French. There's a beautiful French edition. And the only thing I insist on when people translate it is there's a great joke where I say the 4 emotions: mad, sad, glad, and afraid. And all I ask of the translators is find a way in your language to make that same joke where one of the emotions is not a real word.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So like in the French edition, they say joyeux, triste. Triste is not a word, but it rhymes with the other emotions. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, a friend is working on a Spanish edition. The German translator quit instantly.
Really?
She was like, no, this is too colloquial and hard. I can't do it. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
It's very colloquial.
Well, you know what? We'll get somebody. We'll find somebody who can do it.
Yeah.
I think there's a definite like need for it, and it brings people such joy when they read it. And like if anybody's been around you or taken a class with you or watched you perform or anything, like hearing it also in your voice adds another layer to it. Do an audiobook. Do an audiobook.
I did an audiobook of the Italian version. I should do an audiobook. Yes. I could put that at jillbernard.com too. You could click either button.
Yeah. And is that the best way for people to get a hold of you, is to go to your website?
Yeah, jillbernard.com. It's ugly but functional.
That's like me.
Oh.
Ugly but functional.
Functional.
Well, you're such a joy, and I can't wait to play with you again. I'm going to hit you up for one of these, and I'd love to I'm going to steal Cue and Play and cite you. But anytime people can get a chance to watch you or learn from you, I definitely send them your way. So it's been such an awesome time playing with you today, my friend.
You too. Thanks, Jay.
All right. Bye, Jill.
Bye.